Hello, I am Pelayo,
And I'm Angel.
and we are going to talk about New York. This is a picture we took in the Rockefeller Center. New York is a city situated in the northeast of the United States. In New York, there are more than 8 million of inhabitants. New York is the second city with more inhabitants per square kilometer. The first is New Jersey. The mayor of New York is Bill de Blasio. When we were in New York, we see even a lot of people in the streets. When we go out of the hotel, the street, I think is the 47th Street, it was even with thousands of people.
New York has a lot of famous places, like Times Square, where there is a lot of shops, the Statue of Liberty, the French people do it to the New Yorkers, and it's stood very big. The Empire State. The Empire State is a big building. It has more than 30 meters, but it is the second. The first, it is the Liberty Building. It has more than 500 meters.
And this is Central Park. This is the entrance of Central Park. In Central Park there is a zoo and there are a lot of lakes and squirrels. There are even thousands of trees and a lot of very big fields. When it's sunny, the people go there and eat in Central Park with his family. There is a lot of people doing sports and playing instruments. And there is the Bull of Wall Street. It's in the center of Wall Street. It's very famous because they say that if you touch its testicles, you have good lucky. Manhattan. Manhattan is the most popular neighborhood in New York. In Manhattan, there is the most of the touristic buildings, like the Empire State, the Rockefeller Center, and it's another very famous places like Times Square. Here is the Central Park, and there is you see the Empire State. Our hotel it's very near to the Empire State. It's in the 8th Avenue crossing with the 47th Street. And we were the most of the time in Manhattan, seeing all and buying a lot.
The Bronx. The Bronx is a problematic neighborhood, and we go with a guy called Gerardo, and he told us about the trainers that are hung in the light post. Means that when a gang member was defeated and the we go in the north of the Bronx, and it is a problematic area more than in the south.
It's more problematic the north than the south of the Bronx.
There are a lot of pictures in the building, graffitis, and some of them are about people that are dead in
in a gang member, in a gang boom. Queens. Queens is where the most of the people in New York live. They work in Manhattan, but they live in Queens because it's cheaper. This is a photo of the buildings in Queens with the famous stars that appear in the films of New York. Here is the cemetery. It's a very, very big cemetery. There are more than 1 million of people died there. It's in the outer part of Queens. Our guide, Gerardo Giraldo, comes with us to Queens and show us the houses.
Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a Pacific neighborhood, and there are a lot of Jews. Their clothes are black, and they have a hat in, and they has the spiral. We go with the guide Gerardo, and we go in the night, and we can do nothing. We see some of Jewish, but Brooklyn is a Pacific neighborhood. There are a lot of Jews that their clothes are black, and they have a black hat, and their hair is spiral hair. We go in the night with the guide, and we can see nothing. We see some Jews, but we don't see nothing special.
Also in Manhattan there are some Jews, not all in Brooklyn. Now we are going to show you the buildings, the famous buildings. Here, this building is the Liberty Building that it was open to the people in November. It's the biggest building with more than 500 meters tall.
This is the river, and the photo was taken in the Rockefeller Center. It's a building smallest that the Empire State.
In the other part of the photo, this is the part that takes the skyscrapers, but in another photo you can see here the Central Park. Here it comes here, and also here you can see very good. Here is the Liberty State, in the Liberty Island. And here is Ellis Island, where the immigrants come when they enter in the United States?
The Central Park is a bigger is a big park and it has a lot of things. When in the Empire State we see the Central Park, it's take hundred of meters to you see a lot of green because there are trees and it's very beautiful.
Here is Staten Island. It's the smallest neighborhood in New York, and you only can come to Staten Island by a bridge that it's connecting Staten Island with Queens, and you go from Manhattan to Queens with another building. Here is the World Trade Center ball. You can see very well. It's a very big ball of the world with a lot of water surrounding it. It's beautiful. And in the right part of the World Trade Center ball, you have the stadium where the US Open was when they play the US Open. Also here it's the St. Patrick's Church. It's a very famous church, but when we go to New York, they were reconstructing it.